This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel, back up here in Brooklyn, New York at Brooklyn Campervans. Today, I met up with Oliver. Oliver's gonna give us a tour of two camper vans. They're both the Elevate floor plan, but they have different characteristics. He's gonna give us a full tour of both of them, inside and out, so join us.
Hey Patrick, thank you for coming back to Brooklyn. Right behind me, we have two really cool vans. So they're the exact same layout. We call it the Elevate layout. So you have the bed in the front, galley in the middle, and then the shower in the back. And these are two totally different setup, which is really nice to actually see how many different combinations you can create in a van. So this one right behind me, it's a solo traveler. It's going to be hitting the road, really New Mexico theme. And then the other one is actually a small production company, which will be on the road, and it needs, has different needs than a typical RV or camper van on the road. So this is a little bit more set up without a shower in the back. It has a lot of storage, and then cleaner lines, subtle design choices. The other one is bold, colorful, happy, hitting the road vibe. But let's jump into this one where we have right behind us. So it's like both of them are based on the Mercedes Sprinter Dually 3500 heavy duty chassis. So a couple of upgrades on the outside in this specific version is our typical Unaka roof rack on top, and then the lights in the front, those are diodynamic. We still have this really beautiful partnership with Unaka that creates those custom wind fairing in the front. And then the vehicle is really cool, dark gray from Mercedes. And then we kept everything else pretty subtle because the client can always upgrade things later, like to make it even more off-road capable. Typical step-up board. This is the real truck or AMP step-up. We love it. It's just so rugged and it works all the time. So that's a big plus for us. Big picture in the van is the theme is white and wood. So a lot of different texture for the white, and then warm tones you get it from the leather and the oak throughout the van. But step inside and I'll give you a little tour. So this is called the Elevate layout. So you have the lounge in the front. The bed is actually on a lift that comes down. These are the Happy Jack lifts. And then straight galley, divided, of course. It's a split galley. And then all the way in the back, this is actually configured with a massive storage space. The L shape of this lounge is kind of perfect because you can have a bunch of friends, or you can actually work a lot on the road. So this is a beautiful setup for two people to work at the same time. All these vans are set up with Starlink, so it's a full production company on the road. And then the beauty of this space is you still have a beautiful walkthrough, so you never feel like you're cooked up in one spot. So if you have the back door open, somebody can unload and load gear while the crew in the front is actually running meetings or just relaxing. Now that you get the gist of why the vans are used and how they're used, let me go a little bit more in detail. So most of these items come standard with a layout, with the Elevate layout. Separation wall, it's a really nice way to just keep the noise and the heat out, but also you have a full pass-through that you move the cushions and you can go all the way into your cab without having to walk outside. All throughout, this is solid oak. We made some improvement from the first generation. This is a great grab handle that you can go inside the van without holding onto cushions and things. There is really nice lighting throughout the oak. Let me turn them on so you can actually see them. Ta-da! And everything is dimmable, so you have tons of different lighting setup. The walls, if you're familiar with our builds, the client choose the lime wash. So lime wash is a really natural, low VOC lime-based paint that has a lot of texture. So it creates this layering in the same color, but creating throughout textures. We choose for the client these fake leather or vegan leather cushions. Perfect because they have a puppy and it's kind of nice. You just wiped him, the hair doesn't get stuck. Throughout the cab, you have tons of storage underneath every bench. And this specific bench is actually the battery compartment. So this compartment is actually a 15 kilowatt EcoFlow system. This is a new 5 kilovolts system, and it's just a beast. So you can be on the road as much as you want. Paired with a full walkable solar panel deck on top. The other bench is full storage. So we actually split it so it's easier to access. You have full storage on these. And those gray slats, that's actually the way that you make this lower lounge into a secondary bed. So all the cushions go down. Also, each and every one has a self-closing. Yeah, so this actually becomes another bed. So this entire layout can sleep up to 4 people. 2 up top. You can lock this bed manually to a specific height, so you know you don't crush your friends underneath it. And then the table goes in the middle, and then we have 2 slat compartments that gaps the whole bed. And then the other big bench under here, let me just move it, and this is basically your water system. So 40 gallons of water tank with pressurizer and water pump, of course. These tanks are really cool because you can actually open them and fully wash them and rinse them. And then on the other side, you can actually see the Webasto air vent. This is an Evo 40, so it's rated up to 14,000 feet of altitude. So you're never stuck at a lower altitude. And then, yeah, come in the back. I'll show you a little bit of the split galley. We love this layout. So full room, full head height. It's kind of nice to have a split galley. This client actually decided to have full counter, no stove. They're gonna have a little portable stove to put on top. And then on the other side, you have the wet side. So full basin, sink, and then black faucet. All the features are black and white also in the back. And then tons of storage. So a couple of things, if you see, we never have protruding handles because we like how clean the lines are and you don't get stuck in anything. And then tons of storage, all while retaining your soft closing. And the trick is because all the cabinetry is equipped with magnetic, well, they're actually electric magnetic latches that lock all the cabinetry as soon as you turn on the vehicle. And then, you know, you have a big spice rack or trash can rack, tons of storage out here still. And then hot water heater. This is a 2.5 gallon Bosch hot water heater tank here that heats the water pretty much in 15 minutes. And then up top, you still have more storage. So upper cabinets, this is a secondary fuse box because these vans have so many accessories. And then this is actually your water management system. So you can open and close the gray water so you don't have to crawl under the van. And then you can activate the gray heat on the tanks. And on the other side, we have the microwave. We made a little custom board for the production company. And then this is the microwave that gets the most likes and comments on YouTube. And a couple more things in this area. If you can see throughout the van, you have tons of vents. 1, 2, 3, and there's another one in the rear part of the vehicle. The reason is this van has undermount AC, and think about it as a central AC. So you have tons of duct all throughout the vans, and that's really important because it has a lot of power, and it can cool down the van really quickly, and it moves a lot of the air. And then speaking about AC, climatization is really important for us. So this top part of the control system is the climate. So you have the AC conditioning, control panels. This is your typical Webasto controller. All throughout the bottom is the control system from the EcoFlow. So 15 kilowatt battery. You still have 2 days left with 60% battery. And then all the bottom is the monitor for the CCTV system. Welcome to New York City, graffiti's everywhere. And it's kind of nice to have it here because the bed goes up and down and the controller is still accessible whether the bed is up or down. And then let's talk about a couple more things. Fridge to keep the clients happy. More storage on top, so it's like full, almost like pantry style. And then we maximize each and every space in Max and Crooney. And down here you still have more storage because you have the big wheel well on the back, but you still want to manage to, storage things. And then back here, let me jump off. Whoop. This is all storage out here. So the client didn't want a shower. So what we did, we basically create a full rack system for their Pelican cases. A couple of things to make it even more functional. So we create a little separation wall. So when they put benches, you have a little clip here that you can clip so it doesn't move. And then, big cases don't slide in the living space. And then also the big part of it is the fact that you have all these L-track latches all throughout. So it's like if you start stacking a lot of Pelican cases or big boxes, you can always strap them down. Toilet. This time we went with a wrap-on. So Japanese company, everybody knows that Japanese knows how to make toilets. So super cute, super portable. You swip it and it opens up. And so this still is a dry flush toilet. But the cool thing about this toilet is that it's single use. So you do your business, seal it, it seals properly, like with heat, and then your surprise will come out of the bottom, and then you throw it away. So you don't have to wait actually 20 uses for this one. So, you know, there's tons of way to go about toilets, and each and every toilet is good for a specific client. So we thought that this was perfect. And then a couple of things on the side. So this compartment is actually the outdoor shower. So they still have a hookup of hot and cold water for the outside, so they can rinse their dog or take a shower on the outside. And then all throughout the rear doors, we went with van-equipped storage system, because we wanted to maximize the storage in the back, so it's really cool. You have pockets everywhere on the top, compartments at the bottom, same on the other one. And then here you have another separated compartment storage, of course. And that's all the ducting of the under-mount AC. And then up top, that's the evaporator. So it's all controlled there. And then, of course, you have independent lighting in the garage. And then a couple of things throughout the van. You see that there's a Maxxair fan in the back. You'll see when the bed goes down, there's another nice surprise on the other side. But yeah, you still have ventilation going in and out. And then, yeah, so because it's a elevated layout, gray water is actually undermounted where the spare tire goes. And so the spare tire gets installed on the outside. And this vehicle has a ladder, because you'll see has a really cool roof deck up top with walkable solar panels. All throughout the van, you can still see the CCTV cameras, so all four corners. And then as you can see from the inside, we add windows, so CRL Lawrence vented windows. These are perfect for, you know, when it rains. And then shore power on the outside, 30 amp, and you know, it charges the van pretty quickly. Let me pull the bed down and I can show you basically how it goes. All right, so you control it from under here. The bed has a full stop, so you don't have to worry about crushing anything. Just make sure you don't have friends underneath it. And then this is the beauty of this layout. You have, we call it RV queen size. So it's actually 80 in length by 60 in width. And it's just so nice because it's a full bed. And up top, you have a massive skylight. So let me grab the ladder that is actually in the back. And it makes it super easy to go up top. So we have a little handy ladder. You go right here. And you go up top on your bed. And then this is amazing. So this is a skylight, of course, but we do actually skylight with boat hatches. So this is actually a full 3/4 inch polycarbonate. You can actually walk on top of it. And instead of being swing out, these are slide. So they disappear. And it gives you a full clean view of the sky. And at the same time, if you want to go to bed, you can put a full blind or bug screens. And then up top is, let me get rid of my shoes. Hello. You can actually go up top here. You can do the Madonna shot. I'll take you out for a spin. So you can see there's a lot of stuff on top. There is like 3 walkable solar panels. These are military grade. And you have Starlink on top and as well the skylight. I'm gonna give you back to Patrick. And then let's talk about a couple more storage units, so you can put all your blankets and storage up here. On the side, you have lighting capabilities. So maybe it's a little harder to see, but there is actually a really nice mood lighting on the top. And it's all dimmable, so you can actually go to bed and not be blinded by your light. You have your own USB chargers out here, and a couple of more cool things. The whole van has 2 projector screens that can be mounted, one here in the bedroom, and then there's another one in the living room. Okay, so let me put this bed back up in driving mode, and then I'm gonna show you a couple of more accessories from the outside, and then we'll go to the other van and I'll show you how different the other van is. Well, the cool things about this layout is the bed goes all the way. We tucked it all the way up, you know, as high as possible. So you still have, you know, 5'7" as height, and then just, you know, it creates the full lounge again. But let me show you a couple of things on the outside. So we love being outdoor. So this is like a full extendable table. This is your best friend when you're cooking or grilling or just even chilling with your friends. And then there's the other projector up here. So these are all removable. So it's a setup to show from the outside, but you can always take them off and then actually either flip it or put it back here. So you can actually make another big movie nights. If I can actually hang it. There you go. And this is like a full screen. You can have all your friends and just watch a movie. But let me show you the other van. So let's see if you can tell any difference. So this van, first of all, the color choices was really fun. The client was really inspired by New Mexico and traveling, so we just went for it. So really cute peach color. It's like a little pink. It creates this beautiful hue inside the van. And then look at these upholstery. So they're full like Navajo style, New Mexico. Tons of names for this fabric, but really cool. Even if they're woven, they're still like super durable. And then of course, custom made. So same layout, but it feels like a totally different van. So split galley in the middle, in the back. She went with like marble looking counters. Of course, the stove is implanted in this van. And then a couple of really cool things. We love when we match the grain. So it's a continuation of all the grain. And then it creates, you know, more storage space. She has a stainless steel sink, stainless steel faucet. You'll see in the back she has a full shower. But you can kind of see the similarity and the differences. She went with really, really cool handmade tiles as a backsplash on both sides. It creates this like nice, you know, friendly, comfortable and welcome space. You know, bed is of course up top. Same concept, has the skylight. This one has no rooftop, but it has full solar panels. So the entire roof is actually covered in solar panels. They're around 750 watts. And then, you know, darker stainless steel collar handles and all of it. Same concept. They have the same latchable electromagnetic latches. So all these things come standard with the Elevate layout. You know, same storage units all throughout. Same Bosch heater in the back. Same storage. And then a couple of things where I am. It's actually the full shower. This is the coolest part of this layout. It's a massive shower. So we custom made of course the shower pan. You can choose all the tiles and everything else. And then you have the curtain if you actually want privacy, or if you're in a beautiful spot in the desert, you can just like keep the doors open. Shower handle is right here. It's actually long enough. You can rinse outside as well. So if you have a dog, it's kind of nice. You can wash their paws. And then the space has the toilet also. So stainless steel door. And it has, whoop, thank you, Patrick. This has the Laveo toilet. So dry flush, brand new, of course. Same concept as the other one, except this one, you have 20 uses. And then once you're done, you just throw it away. But this is kind of nice. You tuck away your toilet. You have tons of storage on the side, so you can put extra cartridges, toilet paper, and everything. And then whoop, you close it, and you give the keys only to your friends. Don't let anybody else use it. And then, you know, different layout, but you still have tons of storage. So we decided to create the storage up top here. So we brought the evaporator from the undermount I see down here, and then we wrapped everything in this really durable vinyl wrapping lamination. And then a couple of more details. This is oak throughout the van, and of course solid oak in the back as the end of the shower. Subtle but beautiful little trims all throughout. Curtains, same storage in the back, because you know you kind of want to maximize all the storage. And then original Mercedes step up. But this van has a lot of off-road capability. So first thing, it has an ARB air compressor system in the front. So you have a connector in the back and in the front, so you can air up and air down before you go to the beach. Full double bike OneUp system. So this is really cool because it's actually vertical, so it's so much easier to load your bike. You will grab your bike, pull it up, and close it. And then Molly panel behind. This is the owl panel, so you can always remove these two bikes and make it a ski rack, or maybe put a box. You can put so many different accessories. Max tracks with magnetic mounts. If you're in New York City, of course, you will put them a little higher. You don't want to leave them that lower. This is actually the first van with these really cool new Rhino. They call them dually. Kind of a funny name, but dually wheels. They are fully outfitted with KO3 tires. And the really cool thing about these, even if they're aftermarket wheels, they are all independent. So you can actually swap the front to the back and the spare tire still works everywhere. We added a window in both vehicles. We put AMA windows. They're just great. It creates more ventilations. And then step up. This is the real truck, AMP electric, goes up and down. And then a couple of more off-road parts. Of course, the K3, lights up top, the typical diode dynamic. And then up here, you actually have the front air chuck for the air compressor system. So it's really cool. You have a command center in the dashboard where you can control everything, lights, air compressor, and different things. So this is pretty much it. I mean, this is a really cool opportunity to see two vans that they're exactly the same layouts, but they feel incredibly different. And it's really cool how each and every client, you know, maximize the space or make them their own space. So thank you, Patrick, for coming out and showing these two beautiful vans. Yeah, I hope I'll see you next time, guys.
Awesome to come out on a beautiful fall day and shoot outside the shop.
Yep.
So just this, so the viewers understand what they're saying. These are both Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 3500 XD chassis, 170-inch wheelbase,
exactly,
4-cylinder high-output turbo engine, and they're all-wheel drive. So they're pretty capable. And this is the new 2025 chassis, so they have this extra camera system here in the front, and that is your active collision avoidance, which if you're parking in a tight space, it's going to slam those brakes.
New York especially.
And that battery system, are they the same in both?
Yeah, so they both have 15 kilowatt, both vehicles, so the client decided to just maximize all the batteries. One big thing that this van has is actually the secondary alternator charging. So this has an Arco Zeus controller, an Arco 48 volt secondary alternator, which charges up to 5,000 kilowatt an hour, well, 5 kilowatt an hour. So that's huge. This charges so fast.
And that's a premium secondary alternator. I think that one even charges at idle.
Yep, exactly.
Some of the other ones you have to bring up to 2,000 RPM.
Exactly.
So that's pretty nice. But without the alternator, without the solar, say you got a week of rain and you're not driving anywhere, that battery system, that could support pretty much the whole entire
100%.
coach.
Yep. You're going to run out of water before you run out of energy in all
Water
these
is
vehicles.
always the tough one.
Yep, exactly.
I hope people don't think about that. They fix on electrical and solar.
Electrical is the easiest one to actually get inside the vans.
And I know these are standard layouts, but they're customized. Do you have any price ranges that the viewers could get?
You can definitely go on the website because each and every vehicle is so unique to the clients. So you can hit up us, info@brooklyncampervans.com, but also you can go on the website. Sometimes we build these vehicles as spec vehicles. So we take the vehicles, build them, do a specific layout. Usually they're pretty standard on the color and everything else. If you're lucky enough, like this client, this was supposed to be a spec vehicles, but they caught it right on time in the early stages. So they made a couple of changes in the layout and then they just snatched it. So it was like perfect because this was custom order from Mercedes last year. So it takes a little bit to get custom vehicles. So it's kind of nice. If you're in a rush, we have ready to go vehicles.
This is a vehicle that you guys purchased. This is a vehicle that someone purchased and brought to you?
Exactly. Yep.
And I was just a month ago, I was here for your block party. And these vans were in production, so we didn't get to film them then. I'm glad I was able to get to them. These are both leaving next week.
Yep, they are.
I'll put those links in the description so our viewers can click over and check out your website for the current pricing for a standard build of this and some of the other builds that you offer.
We do everything. So thank you so much for coming, and then we'll see you next time. And come to the open houses. We're always here to build community in Brooklyn.
Now, the open house is a great opportunity for people that are local to this area to come out and meet like-minded individuals. You guys have giveaways, you have food, you have drinks here, and it's great. You get to see people from all walks of life that show up. Some people bring their own camper vans and kind of show them and give examples. But I know you guys do some great things here for the van life community out in the Northeast. Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next tour.
See you next time.